What's going on, guys? We're back today with another interview and with David. How we doing, David?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So David is one of the students in DSA Dropservice Academy. David, you're an OG. How long have you been in the academy for?
Since November 1st of last year, so a few months
Okay,
now.
so 3 months. Sweet. And David's got an interesting story because this wasn't your first business. This is your second business, right? I know you've done
Correct.
like
Yep.
houses in the past, but you have like a pretty successful e-com business going right now too, right?
I do. Yeah.
So what do you currently do with that? What's that all
Yeah.
about?
So it's a form of reselling. It's on Amazon, Amazon FBA. I do a model called online arbitrage, and I sell brand name products like Nike, Adidas, all that kind of stuff. So, um, yeah, I do that right now, and I've been doing that for a little over 2 years now.
Okay. So you've been doing that for 2 years. And then in November, you started the cleaning business. You decided to expand. Was there like you just have like a lot of time, or was it just like you're just trying to like have some more cash flow coming in? Like what was it that wanted you to join like DSA and everything and like start your remote cleaning business? And you're in Buffalo, so you're in a Bills Mafia area. That is all right, but Cats fan here.
I know, I know. Yeah, so kind of the main reason I started or wanted to start a cleaning or drop servicing business in general was um, I had the Amazon, which is a product-based business, and margins are super thin on that. And I don't want to dive too much into it, but essentially Amazon can take you down whenever they want, and I don't like that to know that they could take away my entire business essentially with the snap of their fingers. So um, diversifying is a huge part of it. And then I wanted something service based because margins are much higher, um, and home service specifically because it's something that everybody needs and it can't be replaced by artificial intelligence or any new technology. I know we were briefly talking about it on the spaces where we don't think robots are going to be cleaning people's houses anytime soon. So when I was back in like September, October, November ish, I was shopping around ideas on just different types of service based businesses to start. I had actually been following you, John, for many months before that, just even back when you just would talk about crypto and stuff like
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah, and I just
The
like I
Presidente
would see
Day?
your account. Yeah, exactly. And like when I was doing that, I'd just be going through ideas, and then your TikTok came up talking about cleaning, and it was something I've never heard anybody talk about before. So naturally that piqued my interest just because, everybody's talking about doing copywriting, everybody's talking about um, drop shipping, all that kind of stuff. Everybody's talking about that. So when you came about talking about cleaning, I was like, wow, that's something that I definitely want to learn more about. So took a little action, you had that little $2 thing where the little blueprint that I bought, and then scheduled my free call with Mark and talked about it. I did that probably mid October, and I talked with Mark for a while, and it really did seem like a good fit for me. I still opened my I wasn't fully closed on it, so I was still shopping around ideas, comparing. Took about 2 weeks, and I was like, yeah, this is the one for me. So um, took the plunge, joined DSA.
Here we go. And then tell everyone like a little bit like some context about like your background. So like you're in school. I know you have like one semester left. So like going into this, did you think that starting a remote cleaning business on top of everything that you had with like your Amazon store was going to be like a time constraint, or did you like are you good at like time management? Or because like there's a lot of people that are probably going to be watching this that are in college, maybe they already have like another business of some sort. So like they might be in the same shoes as you. It's like they want to diversify, they want to make some more money. So like what was like that looking like for you as you started and where you are right now with like how much time that you're spending on this business?
Yeah, so I'll bring it even farther back. I started the reselling Amazon eBay business when I was 16. So I've
Okay.
been at it for close to 3 years now for that. I was in high school, so I managed it with that. I was lucky enough to be able to do that kind of during COVID time ish. We were coming out of it, so there were still restraints where, there wasn't a lot of stuff going on um, with anything really. So I had a lot of time then, so that's why I started that. Then um, fast forward to, the last summer essentially is when I was like making the decision that I needed to do something else just because I had some time, and I wanted something that would make more money than my Amazon. So I want to be able to grow the cleaning to make more money than Amazon. So um, I knew there'd be a time sacrifice, which I had a little bit of time. And I make it work. You know, I'm a full-time student. Like you said, one more semester. So I'll be done in a few months, which is good. Then I'll be really able to take this off in general. So uh, I definitely think it's manageable. If I could do it with two full-time businesses and a full-time um, full-time student, I think anybody really can.
It's like full-time business, full-time student, you have a girlfriend, like you have a lot going on in your life, you have family commitments, stuff like that, and you're still able to manage this and like it's finally starting to pick up. Like we're gonna be
Yeah.
fully transparent here. It was a little bit slow on from what you wanted it to look like when you started, and now we're trying to see some light at the end of the tunnel. We hit a you can just talk about it, but February was probably one of your better months. You started doing like the cold outreach as well recently, which has seen some early success. You've gotten some walkthrough schedule. You have a decent amount of money on the books for March, which is pretty exciting. But just like talk about, I don't know, like the last few months, maybe December was like that first real month that you had where it's like full 31 days of business and then going into the new year and where you're at now and like how much you've grown from that.
Yeah. So like we discussed, I started in November, so it takes a few weeks to get up and running. So um, I actually got my first clean almost 3 weeks to the day on November 22nd. So that was pretty cool. I honestly didn't expect to get a clean within the first 30 days, but I ended up doing 6 cleans in the first 30 days, which was cool. Um, that at that point I was like, wow, this is crazy. But then December hit. Um, I did I think 9 or 10 cleans, and it was underwhelming, but it was also because I was not able to take paid leads for about 2 weeks um, towards the later half of December. So honestly, it wasn't too bad for only being available for half the month. So um, there was that. Then leading into the new year, it was kind of like restarting, which was nice. It was like I said, restarting. So I had to like redo everything. I didn't have to relearn everything, but starting fresh, pretty much with everything. So uh, I did, I think, another 9 cleans. Getting my footing. February hit, and then this is where it gets good. First 3 weeks of February, I had 3 total cleans. It was terrible. Um, I wasn't sure what I was doing wrong. I was having all these I just wasn't getting calls. Really, that was the big part of it. Then with your help, John, specifically, figuring out how to optimize the ads and do that last week, which is the third week, fourth week ish of February. I had 12 total cleans. So it went from 3 cleans in 3 weeks to 12 cleans in 1 week. And then this week, I have 10 cleans on the book. So 22 in 2 weeks and 3 in 3 weeks. So just crazy how fast things can change for me. Um, and yeah, like we were saying, I've gotten so many reoccurring customers. Next month, I already have over $4,000 on my books, which is, already projected to be close to, if not more than I did this month in revenue. So, it's been crazy like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like there's people this is gonna be the fourth interview, but like they might see your interview first. You're saying stuff about paid leads.
Mm-hmm.
People might be listening to this and might be confused what you mean by paid leads. So like kind of explain like what you've learned, not like the entire blueprint, but like just like the inbound side of things with like starting a remote cleaning business, like the platforms that you're using to get these paid leads. And another thing that I wanted you to talk about too is something that like the biggest problem that you overcame with the leads on like if you could go back in time, like what you would have done to avoid that problem. But like now you've learned it. So like if someone's watching this video and like they start a cleaning business, they turn on like Google LSA, like tell them what you did that you wish you didn't that you wish you didn't do, but because you resolved it, now you're seeing some success with everything in February going into March.
Yeah. So the first part of the question, just the avenues I receive leads, inbound leads, are from mainly Google LSA, like you just mentioned. That's the big one that I think all of us use. Um, I also, I have social medias that I do. I really haven't seen anything from that yet, but that takes time. Um, I've had a few people that book through my website now, which is nice. I have some pretty good SEO on that. And then also, I tried out Yelp leads for a little bit. I was able to close one lead from that who's on a biweekly, I believe, schedule. So that went well. I had a free credit too, so it's not like I paid for it. But really, it's Google. That's really the big one for leads. is in regards to like the mistake that I was making is I was constantly switching my LSA on and off, just like, for example, I'd be driving, out to go to the gym or something. Um, I would turn it off just because I knew I couldn't answer the
You
call
go
during a car ride.
to the
Right.
gym.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the gym's like 20 minutes away, so it's a little bit farther than normal, but
I know, it's just
um,
it's like,
yeah,
oh, like
so
not gonna be on the phone for 2 hours, gotta turn the LSA off, and then like I'll turn it back on after. But
exactly. So that was like something I was doing just because I knew I wouldn't be able to answer the call, or I wasn't sure I was going to be able to answer the call. So that just screwed up the whole algorithm, and it messed things up. So then, taking your advice, I just decided to leave it on literally all the time, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. pretty every day of the week. It's very rare that I turn it off uh, now, which is good. So, and that's helped. That's literally made a huge difference. It took maybe a few days for that to just have that switch where it was 3 cleans to 22 cleans, um, which is just absurd. So that was the huge mistake that I made, and just keep your LSA on. That's the biggest advice I can give.
yeah, so LSA guys is Google local service ads. And I wanted to talk to you about this too, because you have like the dropshipping business with like what you're doing with ecom. So like these are completely different types of ads than it would be for like running like your Amazon stores for multiple reasons. Obviously, because it's a service-based business and it's just like completely differently structured. But I wanted to kind of explain a little bit more and like have you talk on like what LSA is. Like it's for example, for Amazon, you're running ads and you have a budget and you're just like paying for I'm not like an expert in like the Amazon world or like the ecom world, but like you're paying for impressions. Like you have a budget and it's set. And then like with the home service businesses, guys, for Google LSA, it's pay per lead. So it's a completely different business model. So if you kind of want to talk about like what your thoughts are on like pay per lead versus like what you're doing with Amazon, and like if you like how it's set up as like a pay per lead rather than just running Google ads for your cleaning business, then just talk about that.
Yeah, so starting with like the Amazon stuff, it's for me, so I do it a little bit different than a lot of people. Like, because it's brand name items, people are already looking for them. But every sale that I make, Amazon takes 15%, which goes into like the automatic advertising budget, I guess you'd call it. Um, so it's 15% of everything, no matter what. It does not matter. Um, so that's kind of like that. Uh, so when it comes to this cleaning business and Google, it's usually less than 15%, just because the ad costs are, you're paying for a really high quality lead. People are calling who are looking for your service. So it's just a matter of closing them. Now, you're not going to close every lead. That's just how it is. But the closing rate is significantly higher than it would be if, you're running regular ads, like, you're paying per click, that kind of thing. So the ad structure is definitely completely different, but it's much better for the quality of leads. Like, you're not wasting your time, having 100 people call in, or you call them, and you're going to close like 3 of them, right? It's like you're going to have people call in, you should be closing at least 50%, minimum. So that's much nicer in my opinion. Yes, it's more expensive, but it's more worth it too, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's like, guys, like you're selling a cleaning service and you're not selling like a software service. And like the way that LSA works is if you go on Google right now and you search cleaning services near me or uh cleaning maids near me, whatever like the keyword is that you search, like you're at your apartment, your place is messy, you're having people over, you like you need to get a house cleaned, like you need to clean the apartment. Just go on Google. Like that's just like what you think. You're not researching like all these different cleaning businesses. You're just going on Google and you're searching like cleaning services near me. Like you want to see what comes up. And what Google LSA is, when you search that, there's like a thing called Google Guaranteed. You'll see like the badge at the top, and then you'll see the list of all the different cleaning businesses that are in your local area. I'll show like the cleaning business name, the amount of reviews that they have, and then there's 2 buttons. It's call and it's like message if you have like your message leads turned on. There's not really like a prompt to like a website. So if you guys are even thinking about starting a cleaning business, you don't necessarily need a website in the beginning because you can just go through Google LSA, you get your local service ads platform set up, and the call to action is literally them calling your phone. So whatever phone it is that you guys use, if it's just like your personal phone, maybe you use like a soft phone. What we recommend in the academy is you get something like an open phone where it's like you differentiate your business from like your personal life, because you'll also get like telemarketers every once in a while. You don't want to like pick up the phone to like one of those types of calls, but they just call you from directly from Google, and they're literally looking for a cleaning service. They're calling you because they need to get their house cleaned or their apartment cleaned or their Airbnb or maybe their small business owner, whatever it is. And how it works for Google is you only get charged and it's anywhere between 25 bucks to 45, 50 bucks, depending on like where you are in the area, competition, the amount of businesses that are like getting their bids in or whatever, it ranges. But you only get charged that 25 to 50 bucks if it's a qualified lead, someone that is genuinely calling, asking for a cleaning service, a service type that you offer in an area that you're available in. So if someone calls you and they're asking for a carpet clean and David doesn't do carpet cleaning, then he could just tell them over the phone, like, hey, like we don't do carpet cleaning. I'm sorry. But maybe he'll give them a recommendation. I don't know if it was you or someone else, but like you were working with like another company where it's like you throw them leads, they throw you theirs. Was it you? Was it or was it someone else?
That wasn't me, but I've talked with Elias and his cleaner Terrence. Um he owns a carpet cleaning company. So I have a customer who's getting a clean this week who asked me like, "Hey, do you do carpet cleaning?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't, but let me throw you some referrals." And I referred him to that. So I don't know if he's going to go with them, but yeah, I did throw some referrals,
Okay. I think
which
what I
will
was referring to was Dakota. I don't know if you remembered him on the team call when he was
yeah.
doing the carpet cleaning or whatever. And then like he basically just did some research, found a big carpet cleaning company in his area, just gave him a call and was like, hey, like I have business for you. And then like they were like, oh, like, well, people call us all the time about like clean. So like we'll throw them your way. But yeah, so like if someone that doesn't offer or is asking for a service that you don't offer, you just dispute it and you get your money back. Like you don't have to pay for that lead, obviously. But yeah, Google LSA is really cool. And I don't know. I kind of wanted to transfer the conversation, David, just talk about like you said Elias. Like who's Elias? How did you meet Elias and everything like that's inside DSA? Because it's cool. Like it's not just us like getting on a weekly call with David every single week and like helping him scale his cleaning business. We're in an academy. Like it's a community of now it's I think 65 people. And David was happened to able to network in his local area and he found someone like Elias and there's other people. But what were your thoughts about like everything like with the community aspects over the last few months?
Yeah, so when I joined in November, I think I was in the 20s of students, maybe 30s, early 30s. I think I was in like the late 20s of students, so it wasn't many of us, but still plenty of people who had plenty of experience. So what's really nice is, when I have a question or I have an experience, good or bad, I'll always post about it. I'll post like, hey, I had this happen. Has anybody else had this happen? Or I have this problem. Anybody know a solution? Almost always, someone in the group will have that solution or be able to benefit from your bad or good experience. There's always we're always helping each other, which is good. Elias, he was in the group before me, I believe, right? Yeah, and he's also kind of in the Buffalo area. He's more Niagara Falls, Rochesterish area. So he also like operates in the same area as me. But we're friendly. I text him. If I have a clean that I don't have a provider for, I'll throw it his way. Um, that kind of thing. So we actually, ironically, when the Bills Stadium got snowed in, um, somehow we both ended up going independently and both went at the same time on the same day and we're in the same section. And he came up to me and recognized me in my ghillie suit. Uh,
Like how?
and
How did he?
I don't even know. It's kind of crazy to me. So we met up, we chatted for a little bit. We talk all the time, which is just really cool because he's in my area. When he's in Buffalo, we're gonna be getting lunch soon, doing that kind of thing. So it's just
Oh,
great to
really?
network. Yeah.
Fun. But yeah, no, that's crazy. And then we have Nick too, who's Nick's more in like the Rochester area, right?
Mhm. Yeah. So that's like a hour and a half drive. So not too far.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
not too familiar with that area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like you guys, it's a community aspect. And then have you taken advantage of a lot of the calendar events, like the workshops that Parker does, and like obviously we do like the sales and hiring calls that I see you on, but what about like the workshops? Like did that motivate you to start doing like the cold calling?
Yeah, I mean, you can go ahead and ask Parker. I'm probably the one who's there on those the most, to be honest. I go to out of the eight, I'm there probably like five or six per week. Um, so I'm taking advantage of those all the time. It's really beneficial just to get hear Parker make those cold calls or do lead generation. Like that's all very beneficial because it's stuff I'm going to be doing and do currently do. So Um, I would not have started cold calling if it weren't for Parker sharing his success with it and showing exactly how he does it. Like he doesn't gatekeep that stuff. He's making the calls live with us, and he's closed people live with us too, which is cool. Um, but yeah, there's like what 8 events a week per now, which is crazy. So it's really, really, really beneficial. Tons of value in that, which is great, I think.
Yeah, no, 100%. What are what are some of like the skills that you would say that you like have acquired or just like significantly improved on, if any, from like joining like the academy and starting this business? Obviously, like you're a pretty good operator because you had a drop shipping business for 2 years. So like you kind of know like the back end role of like running a business, of like handling and executing on fulfillment, stuff like that. But like this is again like a different type of business. Like this industry is more so just like relationships. You're like you're doing hiring, you're doing these sales calls. So like what are some of like the things that you've picked up on over the last few months that you're like happy that you've acquired?
Yeah, I say the two biggest ones are one, just going to be people skills and customer service. That's just one of those things where I didn't really have to do that before just because, um, like selling through Amazon, Amazon handles all the customer service for me. There's advantages and disadvantages, but like I didn't have to talk to people with that. With this, of course, I'm talking to every single customer. I'm talking to all my cleaners. I'm talking to business owners. I'm talking to everybody, right? So that's a skill that I've definitely learned and still am perfecting. Right. The second, and I'd say the biggest, is just sales. I have never done anything in sales prior to joining the academy, and obviously a huge part of this business is sales. So uh, I've learned a ton. I'm still very much learning, but I feel like I've gotten pretty solid. At least with the cleaning niche, I feel like I'm pretty solid at selling now. I'm
You're
still
more so
learning how
just
to
like,
overcome certain objections, but overall, I feel like that's the biggest skill I've learned from the academy for sure.
yeah. So like is it when you say that you feel like you've gotten a lot better, is it more so just like negotiating, like you just said, like objective handling, or just like having the confidence to just like speak on the phone with someone where it's like, hey, this is my business, these are the services that I'm offering, this is how much it is, or like was that just like something that you lacked like before you joined something like this, or like what is it like specifically in sales that you've seen that bell curve of growth?
Yeah, the biggest thing is going to be the confidence for sure. Negotiating, back when I was first starting the reselling, you're negotiating with people at garage sale over, a $3 item that you want for a dollar, right? That's easy stuff. So I knew how to negotiate um, small items, but bigger items, it's sort of the same, not too much different. So I knew how to do that. But the confidence on the phone was the biggest one for sure. Just feeling confident when you say your price, feeling confident when you're like, oh, I don't know if it's enough, oh, well, we have a premium service, we're going to charge a little more than other companies because we believe our service is worth more than other companies. Saying things like that um, is tough to do at first because I don't want to say you feel wrong, but it feels uncomfortable to do.
Yeah.
At least from my experiences. I can't speak for everybody, but um, definitely the confidence on the phone, in person too. Those are the biggest things when it comes to sales, is just the confidence for sure.
Yeah, that's everything. So like if you guys have never gone to the gym before and you just go to the gym for the first time, like you're gonna be watching YouTube videos on like how to like curl dumbbells. Like you're gonna be like you're not gonna like you're gonna be nervous like going to like that machine that you've never done for the first time because like God forbid you mess up and like people are watching. Like it's everything. It's repetition. It's the same thing if you're playing a sport. Like I played soccer my entire life. When I was 7, 8 years old, I sucked. And then it's just repetition. And it's like the same thing with like girls. It's like if you have never talked to a girl before and like you're nervous, like it's like the confidence thing. It's like if you guys get the repetition of just like getting out there and just taking it on head first. And it's the same thing with sales. It's like David's never done a sales call before. Obviously, those first few calls are going to be choppy, and that's a cool thing about Google LSA too, is because all the transcripts are recorded. So David can hop on a sales call and he can show us one of his LSA calls, and we can just shit on him. We can be like, dude, you should have said this. This was completely off. Like, why didn't you frame the conversation like that? You should have not given up too much information about the service before you gave the price. Like, we give feedback about this kind of stuff. So now it's like, cool. David can go back to the drawing board, next LSA call comes in and he tweaks it and he sees improvement as he goes along of just getting the reps in. So it's a cool process. Like it's all part of the journey at the end of the day. It's like you're not going to be perfect in the beginning. And if you are, then there's something wrong with you because no one's perfect. We're all human.
Yeah, and especially another thing for the that I thought of when it comes to sales and the calls itself that I learned was just how to control the conversation. It's a huge part of it, ties to the confidence, but just another aspect that is incredibly important and will help you in this business. And that's something I learned directly from watching you guys and doing the review of the LSA calls that we've done. I know you've tweaked mine for sure, uh, which is incredibly helpful.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like controlling the conversation is massive. And you learn, if you guys ever started a cleaning business, like you will learn this, or any business that involves sales and like talking to people on the phone, but like specifically in this industry, it's not like the same Jordan Belfort script that you follow for every single like call when someone's inquiring about a clean. You're gonna get the 20-year-old college kid that just wants to know what the price is and like if it's in his budget and like wants to do the clean. You're gonna get the dad that has to talk to the wife before like any decision that he ever makes. And like you have to have a different conversation with him. You're gonna have the 65-year-old lady that doesn't know how to use her phone and like the way that you're framing the conversations and controlling the conversations, like they're gonna be completely different for every single person. So it's like not like there's just like yes, there's like a blueprint where you can see the framework of like what you have to do to execute and be successful. But when it comes to the sales side, the cool thing about sales, like it's different. Like it's not there's not one answer. And I'm sure you've experienced that, David, over the last few weeks, just like picking up the phone and just like having all these different people like talking to you and like probably have like stories that you're telling your friends about like people that you've had a conversation with, but it's there's not one answer in sales, which is like the cool part about sales. It's what makes it interesting and fun. It allows you to grow as a person that can just handle these types of conversations. Because if there was just one blueprint and just one script and just everyone sounded the same, then it wouldn't be fun. But yeah, so I just wanted to just have like a quick conversation before we get out of here about what you're looking to achieve in the next couple of months. Because obviously, like you can say like, oh, I want to do $150,000 this year. It's like cool, but like, what are your plans for March going into the summer? Not just like how much money you want to make, but like, are you trying to hire more cleaners? Are you trying to like maybe plug in a VA? Are you trying to like start delegating yourself out of the company a little bit? Are you gonna, I don't know if you've taken distributions yet. Are you like hoping to like have a like a benchmark where it's like by May 1st, I want to be able to start taking distributions from the company. So like what I don't know if you've planned it out or if you've written down like the goals or like stuff like that, but like what is it that you're looking forward to executing on in the next few months?
Yeah, so it's obviously a mix of all that. Of course, I have a revenue and sales goal, which is I really want to be able to hit that 10,000 month, 15,000 month. That way, because profits are going to be 40-ish, 45, 50% on that. That's a livable income. Yes, you have to reinvest a little bit, but really not that much. Your overhead is really not a lot. Um, yes, of course, you could reinvest into, maybe a better website, maybe, better SEO, that kind of thing. But I invested heavily in the beginning into that kind of thing. So there's not really much improvement that can be made there. So honestly, I want to get to a point where I can legitimately live off of it, which is not terribly far off, really. I kind of got to double in size and then it's going to be doable, which at this rate, I mean, it's really only going to be maybe 3 months, 4 months away, hopefully even sooner. Um, Especially if, things continue how they did the past 2 weeks. I could definitely, scale very fast, very quickly. Um, you know what I mean? So there's that. In regards to what are my like current like goals, I really, really do need to hire more. I only have two cleaners right now. I have one that I'm probably going to onboard today or tomorrow. And then I have a couple more interviews today, which is good. But I do need to, you know, bring on more cleaners because my schedule is already filling up, which is a good problem to have. But
Yeah.
I don't want to be turning away jobs. I want to be able to feel confident and be able to give my clients, the times they're looking for. I don't want to have to schedule something 2, 3 weeks out. I want to be able to get people in either the same week or the following week, pretty consistently, which right now would be tough for me. But I gotta bring on more cleaners. So that's a huge goal right now. Then just general improvements within the business are just going to be, you know, continuing to get better at sales, continuing to be better at hiring. Those are the two big things. Sort of like Parker does. I definitely want to expand more into the commercial space. I actually have my first commercial clean is going on as we speak right now, which
There
is
we
kind of
go.
cool to think about. That one's a quick one, so that's pretty cool. First one, accomplishing it. Uh, then I want to, bring on an apartment complex would be cool. Bring on more commercial businesses, and then just expand my reoccurring schedule with residential clients. That's a huge thing. I also want to be gaining more short-term rental clients, especially with the summer coming. And then big one around here would just be football season. People traveling to see the Buffalo Bills. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's big. Um, what else? The I do when I hit about 10 to 15K, I'll probably import probably 10K. I'll probably start to look for a VA. They're
Okay.
cheap. Um, I haven't really put too much thought to it, besides the fact that I know I want to do it because I do want to outsource things, and be less busy with my personal tasks. So there's that I want to do. Maybe even bring in someone who will take the sales calls for me and do that. That's something that could be in the future. Expanding my marketing strategies. I have door hangers, I have business cards. Um, I might do more with like Yelp and social media, Facebook, Nextdoor. I want to be everywhere, right? That's one of the huge goals within the next few months, is to just get my name out there. That's a huge part of it. Um, that's kind of that. I mean, did I fully answer the question there, or am I missing
Yeah,
something?
no, it's a lot to look forward to. And like it's not just like you're looking at a computer screen and it's like, oh, I did $30,000 this month with my Amazon store. It's like you have boots on the ground, like you got to do the hiring, you got to get your name out there. You're going to be doing like that organic marketing. You're going to continue to do those dials. You're going to be looking to interview maybe a virtual assistant down. Like there's a lot of cool parts of this business, which makes it just like fun. And like if it's just like I always relate this industry to like GTA because it's like you're doing so much. Like it's not just like you have an online business and you just watch a chart go up, like you're trading crypto or like the Amazon thing. It's like you are literally doing hiring, marketing, sales, like every single aspect of like being an operator for a company that you're like handling. And then it's like, cool, you do all of that, you learn everything that you need to know about the business, and then you start delegating. And that's when it becomes truly a business because you can answer this after too, David, but like there's a good amount of time that you're devoting right now so you could scale this business and so you can eventually delegate it. So until you actually do that delegating, it's essentially like it's your business, but you're still working a job at the end of the day. But once you get to that phase where you hit a revenue goal where it allows you to um get down to the point where it's like, hey, I can hire a VA that I'm going to pay $1,000, $2,000 a month to be doing A, B, and C for my business. You'll be able to then have a business because you're not spending 40 hours a week on the thing that you're actually doing. Yeah. So I just want to end on this because obviously we want to be as transparent as possible in this interview. From the 3, 4 months that you've started your cleaning business, what is the most difficult part of this entire like business at large?
Ooh, that is tough. I think the hardest part was, let me think here. I think for me, the
You could
hardest
say
part, go ahead.
before you answer, it's like you could say like what the hardest part was in the beginning, and then also like what currently is like the biggest pain point like that you're dealing with, but it could be anything.
Yeah, okay, that's a good way to do it. I think in the beginning, the hardest part was learning sales, just because it's, something that I'd never done. Now I think the hardest part is, hiring, maintaining cleaners, and it's just tough to find really good quality cleaners. That's something that will just get easier with time, but that's my hardest part right now. Um, and then yeah, sales was hard. Now I got it down pretty good. Still learning, of course, but those are the two biggest challenges for sure.
I would 100% say that the quality control and the quality assurances is the most difficult part of this business to sustain. It's like you can learn sales, takes like we were talking about before, like just repetition. Like you just have to put in the work. You got to get the phone calls in. You just got to get the dials going, and then like it becomes a muscle. But the quality control and assurances, you guys will realize that in this industry, you're hiring cleaners. You're not hiring like software engineers that are going to be on salary and they're going to be hitting their KPIs and they're going to be reliable and they're going to be working for you for multiple years and they're going to work their way up the corporate ladder. It's like you're hiring cleaners where you're essentially hiring gig economy workers. They're W-9. They're not W-2. That's a beautiful part about this business model too, where it's like you're not paying payroll taxes, but like it's high turnover. If you don't have a good framework down when it goes about like setting up these interviews, asking the right questions, setting the expectations, having that trust and making sure that the cleaner that you're onboarding is going to be someone that you can rely on. If you don't know how to like scope that out, then you're going to have a lot of trouble. And like you don't have this is like not a brick and mortar business where you like have like tangible assets. It's like your cleaners are your assets. They're the ones that are going to your jobs, doing the cleans. They're the reason why you're making money. I mean, David's done a couple cleans. Don't get me wrong here. David's done a few cleans, which is cool. Parker does like a lot of cleans in his free time, but it's like the majority of the work that you're going to be hiring out, like you're going to have these cleaners that you're onboarding into your business on the ground doing these cleans. So you got to make sure that you have good cleaners. And then it's like if the client's not happy, then you're not going to have business on your books. So you got to make sure that the communication is the most important part about this entire business, whether it's with the cleaner, whether it's with the client, because there's going to always be a problem if you're not like locking in on like the actual like quality control and assurances part of the business for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, sweet. And then David, how old are you? So
I'm
people,
19 years old right now.
you're 19?
I'm 19.
I thought you were 21.
Nah, I'm
Oh, so you're
19.
just getting your associates.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I do not want to be going for 4 years. Yeah, I'm 19.
19, dude. So you started your first business when you were 17,
16.
16.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then we'll end it on this. We'll end it on this. What we did like the short term like stuff with like the cleaning business, but it's like, what do you want to be doing when you're 30? Do you want to be enjoying life? Are you going to be building businesses still? Are you going to be trying to like, are you the empire guy where it's like, I need to have $100 million? Like, what is your mindset on like when it's like enough? Like,
Yeah. So that's a tough question because I go back and forth with what I want. Like I want to be one of those people that owns a little bit of everything. I want to own, so many different types of businesses, but I just want to own them. I don't want to run them, right? I want to be the person that owns tons of real estate, that kind of thing. I do want to enjoy life, especially, but I want to be able to enjoy life the way I want to. And I love cars, I love watches, I love that kind of thing, and that costs a lot of money. So I got to
you
make a
get a
lot of money.
watch?
I want that stuff. I don't have one on right now, but they're upstairs. Um, but like that kind of stuff. So like when I'm 30, so 11 years, um, I'm thinking that I don't want to be working more than 10 hours a week, something like that, hour a day to 10 hours a week. I think that's doable. Um, it's just you got to sacrifice now to be able to enjoy life later, right? So that's the way I view it. So putting in the work now will pay off, I believe. So, um, like you said, automating is a huge part of it. So that's something that will be coming soon. And then just building my empire in that scenario, I guess you'd say. So uh, that's kind of where I want to be. But I don't have like a money goal per se, but I just want to be able to enjoy life the way I want to. And I think I can get there in a decade for sure.
That's awesome, dude. Well, good stuff.
Oh yeah.